In the near to medium term, Trinidad and Tobago faces a challenging economic outlook. Trinidad and Tobago's food import bill is quite expensive, making foreign exchange scarce. A percentage of this budget is used to purchase and import food for the country. According to the Oxford Business Group, Trinidad and Tobago is a net food importer, with imports supplying up to 85% of its needs, up from roughly 60% in 2000. Also stated by the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Trinidad and Tobago's yearly food import bill is more than 5 billion Trinidad and Tobago dollars.
Food prices have been rising as a result of a number of factors, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, which took the world by surprise and caused food production facilities to close, restricted food trade policies, and caused a lot of financial pressures in the food supply chain. Another factor that contributed would be the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine, being the world's largest producer of grains, has seen a massive decline in their production of major staple foods. Trinidad and Tobago is the second largest market in the English-speaking Caribbean for American agricultural exports, with $358 million in exports in 2021. Due to a number of constraints such as a lack of available land and natural calamities like drought and flooding, domestic agriculture is limited. Because of this, Trinidad and Tobago is heavily dependent on imports.
Considering the cost of imported goods and their impact on the domestic market, locals are encouraged to buy locally produced food, which can help the domestic economy and local farmers and manufacturers. As a result, the public is encouraged to make use of its purchasing power by selecting local alternatives, which should be supported by home budgeting and home gardening. Hello, my name is Klesston Quashie, a student at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. My group and I were placed in this problem-solving workshop to investigate and determine the viability of developing home vegetable gardens in our communities of Muruga, Tejas, and Labre in an effort to reduce the food importation bill in Trinidad and Tobago, as well as to educate persons interested in participating in this type of activity. A reduction in import dependence over the medium term would help save the scarce foreign exchange.
Access to foreign exchange continues to be a major obstacle to bilateral trade with Trinidad and Tobago. Smaller local businesses and those who do not earn their US dollar through exports may have lengthy delays in obtaining foreign cash to pay US suppliers due to an overvalued currency and an excess demand for foreign exchange. With a population like ours who is heavily influenced by foreign countries and has developed a taste for foreign goods, this reflects in our importation bill. However, this is not favorable with the limited amount of foreign exchange that our country has access to. Reducing the demand for imported foods by encouraging population to support local and eat local will have a tremendous impact on our food importation bill and can reduce it by a substantial percentage, since the government of Trinidad and Tobago has suggested that all taxes on all inputs and resources registered for agricultural purposes be eliminated, turning agriculture into a tax-free business. We as students of the University of Trinidad and Tobago would like to second that motive by introducing the option of a home vegetable garden. This home vegetable garden is in the form of a simple grow box design that can be constructed by members of the public as well as differently abled. To carry out the execution of this project, firstly, our group did extensive research via search engines such as Google and YouTube to gain knowledge on what grow boxes are, since we had no prior insight about them.
The first idea was a grow bag and pallet setup. The second being a vertical planter utilizing a pallet placed vertically incorporating soil. Finally, The third design was a self-watering unit.
Our group proposed 3 grow box designs and then created an online questionnaire to be circulated through Google Form by each member of the group. We then received a total of 40 responses. The results were compiled and the design with the most responses would be the chosen design.
This table shows the number of participants from each community. 20 participants took part in the questionnaire from Moruga, 10 from Cedrus, and 10 from Labrie. 77.5% of participants visit the local market often to purchase fresh produce. Based on the 40 responses, the majority of participants spend an average between $100 and $200 on market supplies. 2 participants spend no money on market supplies. 10 participants spent an average amount of $1 and $100. 18 participants spent between $100 and $200, and lastly, 10 participants spend $200 on market supplies. Also, majority of participants think that market supplies in their local markets are expensive. 29 individuals think that market supplies are expensive, and approximately 8 think that they are affordable, and 3 are uncertain. In the chat above, the question, "What are the chances of you building a grow box?" was asked. The majority of participants are most likely to construct a grow box, while the remaining are uncertain on whether they would build it or not. However, one participant indicated that they would never construct a grow box.
A market survey was conducted by visiting local markets or vendors within Moruga and Point Fortin to gain knowledge on the short crops to include in the questionnaire. Crops that were listed encompassed lettuce, cabbage, pak choy, carrots, pumpkin, peas, eggplant, peppers, celery, chive, beans, and parsley. From the answers obtained, each member of the group sent out questionnaires to their respective contacts, encapsulating individuals of their communities. The data obtained from the questionnaire was analyzed, where the favored design was the self-answer. The design was the most self-efficient when compared to the other designs. Additionally, the design greatly impacts the environment, as plastic bottles are one of the major contributors to land pollution, resulting in blocked waterways.
So, the first step in implementing this grow box design is by gathering an empty 5-liter bottle or any size that is available to you. Then, you would want to cut the bottle unequally into 2 sections, with the bottom section being longer than the top section. This part is optional, but place 2 holes on the same side of the bottle, approximately 2 to 3 inches apart. Do the same for the side that is opposite to the previously made holes. Gather 2 equal lengths of strings. You can use any length of choice. Tie 1 piece of the string on each side between the holes. As previously stated, this part is optional, but it can be useful for either hanging the planter or to use it as a handle to lift or transport the planter. Next, take a piece of cloth or an absorbent material and cut a strip from it. Place the strip of cloth into the center of the cap where the hole was previously made. Screw the cap back onto the bottle. Next, fill the bottom section halfway with water. Next, place the top of the bottle upside down so that the cloth is mostly submerged in the water. Now, for the fun part. Ensure that the cloth inside the top section is placed to the side. Then, place your preferred medium in the top section of the bottle. Now, dig a shallow spot in the medium where the seeds or seedlings will be planted. And lastly, slightly water the planter. And voila! Your home vegetable garden journey has begun. I am pretty sure that there are people out there who wish that they do not have to wake up early in the mornings and go during the day to water their crops. This self-watering system is very convenient. It will grow your fresh produce just as any other gardening system. Between our generally busy lives and long gardening to-do lists, a self-watering system can save you time and let you spend more time relaxing in your outdoor oasis. Secondly, deep-rooted crops cannot be utilized due to the limiting depth provided by the planter. It is also prone to tipping over by passers-by and animals if not properly placed. Lastly, the planter must have draining holes since it can be an ideal breeding ground for mosquitoes. To prevent this, flush the water every 3 to 4 days.
Disadvantages of the self-watering planter are the accumulation of free water, which causes the soil to become waterlogged. The unit is prone to tipping over by passers-by if not properly secured. Large crops are unable to be grown in the unit due to its small size. And deep-rooted crops cannot be utilized due to the limited depth provided by the bottle.
In conclusion, the main objective of this project was to encourage our communities of Moruga, Labrie and Cedros to construct a home vegetable garden. Furthermore, to provide residents in these communities with valuable and accurate information about the country's economic status and to explain why the implementation of a grow box is critical considering the economy is changing negatively. The benefits of the project include lowering the cost of food importation into Trinidad and Tobago and increasing the accessibility of imported food. We allow the residents of our communities to choose one of the 3 proposed designs presented to them, and they happen to choose the most cost-effective and beneficial grow box design. This project was very informative, even to us, but in the end, it was successful.